live at the door. All right. All right, you're good. You go inside.
Good morning, everyone. I have two lovely people from a band. Welcome, Oldsoul Nation. We got Jess and Tom with us. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Good
Hello.
afternoon here on the East Coast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all are based out of where y'all? I know you guys did EST. Where are y'all based on the East Coast?
Boston.
Boston.
Quote, yeah, unquote. Tom and Dan live in quote unquote Boston. It's not really Boston. And then I live in central Massachusetts. So does our other guitarist, Cam. And then our drummer is insane and lives in Philadelphia.
Okay, awesome. Love that. There's something really funny about the Boston thing because I used to live in Chicago, and anybody that lived outside of Chicago, that said that they were from Chicago, like they used to get like absolutely trashed on. So is there like a fucking Boston thing, the same thing where like people say that they're from Boston, but they actually live outside?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because Jess misspoke because I don't live in Boston. I live in a town called
That's what I
I live in
said.
a
I did
town
the
called
quotes, dude.
She did the quote. So I get it. She's like, so I see. No one's gonna be able to see that. So because I don't post the video. She did quotes, and I will vouch for that.
well, yeah, so I mean I think it is the same way in Boston to answer your question.
Yes.
Um, you know, there's what people might call the greater Boston area that includes all
Sure.
the suburbs around Boston. Um, and
Do
yeah.
y'all is
So I
so
live,
you live outside of it?
yeah,
Okay, hell
a
yeah.
little bit outside.
Now did y'all meet in Boston and then kind of everyone just spread out?
No, Tom and I met in college. We went to this UMass Lowell, which is in
Cool.
Lowell, Massachusetts. And we were introduced through mutual friends that we had. And now he's stuck with me.
Now, Tom, how do you feel about that? The way that she said it a little bit condescendingly. It was like, listen, it was a she
No,
wanted
I'm just joking. No.
I just like let's talk about how you feel about that.
How I feel about what? Which part?
Oh,
Being stuck with me.
being stuck with her.
Yeah.
Oh,
You won't be able to see this, but there was a moment where he kind of looked off longingly of like, how do I answer this question?
There's no answer. There's no answer.
Because I mean, y'all have been
oh,
together
I
doing
mean,
this for a long time.
Yes.
yeah, yeah, almost 10 years now.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Through all different, many different iterations. Um,
It's funny because like I was talking to before you showed up and before we hit
just,
record, I was talking to Jess about how I've listened to Education on Earth like multiple times. I love it. But I like apparently didn't like scroll down and know that you guys that was not LP1. That was LP fucking 3, which is
uh,
crazy. And so I have to go back and listen to everything to kind of see what the journey is like. But you know, your first record came out in 2018, Koi.
uh,
So like you guys started everything in like 2017, 2016 before Koi came out.
2015.
Yeah.
So, oh, holy shit. So it is like almost that 10-year mark.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's actually, yeah, we're we're there.
And
That's
you
2025.
crazy.
that's fucking insane. So let's kind of go through a little journey time. So y'all met in college, did the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Did y'all meet in like a music program or well outside of the mutual friends were they like this musician needs to meet this musician because y'all like the same shit?
Um, Essentially, yeah, it was more so I quote unquote
Mhm.
started Oldsoul, and I really needed a strong, you know, guitarist and somebody who would help me write better or help my songs, translate better, just someone to collaborate with. And
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to go about it. And, some, like we said, some mutual friends just were like, oh, you got to meet Tom. He's the best guitarist I've literally ever seen. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, wow, that guy's literally the best guitarist I've ever seen. And so
Basically, I took over the band when I
yeah,
got it, man.
yeah, exactly.
And then we kicked out our drummer and got a new drummer, and then we had that lineup for a while through our time with college. That's when we made Koi. I think it was on a summer break during college, and then we after college I moved to Boston. We were both kind of trying to figure out what we're going to do after college. And during that time, we made the second album.
You were
and
overwhelmed, mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, we planned a big tour. Um,
And then a little thing
at
happened.
the very end of that tour, we were in New York City. COVID started,
Fake news.
Yeah.
and
That was a joke.
that was kind of the end of an era for a band. Because it was funny being away on tour for a long time, which
It was a long
feels like
time.
it feels like um, there's an adjustment period when you're away, and then when you come back home. But then to have that adjustment period in addition to the whole COVID lockdown starting, forcing us to come home a little bit early.
Yeah.
It was a really weird life transition.
We
I've never had like that acute of a feeling of things changing and completely and very suddenly.
Yeah.
That was whack.
Um,
We were literally the last band on tour, like, ever in the world. Like, we were literally, like, our tour was going great. We were like 2.5 weeks in, like, chilling, and then the last leg, the whole
yeah,
world shut down. We locked ourselves in our friend's studio in New Jersey. We got drunk. We wrote a 12-verse horrible rap song while we were all drunk that will never see the light of day. Then yeah, we were staying with our friend in New York City, and we just woke up one morning to him coughing down the hall, and we are like, we gotta get the fuck out of this city. We gotta get the fuck out of New York City. It was crazy. Like, Tom, do you remember, like, we went to that bagel shop to get coffee, and, like, everyone was just panicking? That was nuts.
yeah,
But yeah,
and people are wearing masks for the first time,
in their
um,
lives.
and like people wearing latex gloves, and it's a real
Bubbles.
yeah.
That was I remember just like, so when COVID happened, I was here in Nashville, and I think this is interesting because we get to talk about something very, very specific about how the South handled COVID versus how the North and like civilized society handled COVID. Like straight up, like there is, as much as Nashville is a purple city, there's still the red part of it, which was like, it was, you could tell who was who now, were all the people that were sensible, reasonable people wearing masks and like doing it, and then the people that weren't. And like seeing the signs up like saying like, listen, you have to wear a fucking mask or else we'll kick you out of the store. And
people are like throwing hands. You're like,
yeah,
no, it's like, just do it. It's not a big deal. Like, just put it on, man. It's not a big deal. Like,
it was
please.
crazy. It was really
Do
strange
it.
being down here because like I'm a northerner. I was born in Iowa. I'm sorry, I was born in LA, grew up in Iowa, and then lived in Chicago and then moved to Nashville. Like, so as a northerner, it was like this the sensible thing, like, okay, wear a mask. And just seeing people just being so mad. Everything reminds me about this video that I saw about like it took place maybe in Dallas. It was just like a news clip in Dallas or something where they were talking about how they were going to put a law up that you couldn't drink and drive anymore. And it was like interviewing all
Wait, there
these.
was never a law to wait, what?
So drinking and driving, just like seatbelts, you could.
I guess, like, if you're, I'm not agreeing with it though. Anyway.
No, yeah. So like, yes. So like, there was a period of time when like they had to put a law that you couldn't drink and drive. And then it was like, and I think it was a federal one. And they were talking about the federal. This was like in the 70s, in this news clip of like all these people, these Southerners that were like, are you telling me that I can't like go to I work 10, 12 hours a day and I can't drive home and have a couple of beers? And it was just like, I just think about like this. That's how it felt, where it's people complain, wow, just, people are, soon people are forcing us to wear seatbelts. People are telling us I can't drink and drive. What's next? Communism? Like it was this crazy.
Hopefully.
I think about it. Yeah. Yes. When I think about COVID, yes.
I should mention I'm actually a never masker now. Can't stand that shit.
Oh my God.
In fact, to the point where if I see someone wearing a mask, like a couple on the plane wearing a mask, I go up to them, I rip it off their face, and I say, "Get that fucking thing off your face."
And
I say, "Eat fresh fruit."
Breaking news.
Steamed vegetables.
Breaking
news. This is what you do to us on our 10-year anniversary. This is crazy.
Yeah, this is breaking news, everybody. Tom is just MAGA coded. She's just letting it all come out.
No, don't even joke about it. Oh God, please! I'm gonna throw myself.
Yeah, this isn't great, everybody. I'm really sorry. This is
kidding.
All coming out.
Say it out loud, Tom. You were kidding. No quotes. No quote unquotes.
These are not my words.
Now,
I only want to see people's beautiful faces so I can trust them.
I will say, I wasn't into the mask thing just because of a comfortability thing. I was like, these aren't comfortable. But the thing that I really liked about the masks is that no one knew who I was. I got to finally be unperceived. That was so cool.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about your facial expression.
Yeah, I could laugh and frown.
Do you ever have a moment where, like, I don't know, you have your mouth ajar for a while and like you forget that you're in public or something? It didn't matter when you had a mask on. You could just let your face do whatever.
As a chronic spitter, it was great. Because like when I talk, I get really excited and I'm just like, I'm like a dog and I start like salivating. I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. And I just like spitting and I'm like, great. I'm a super spreader.
Did you had to aim for like, you couldn't wear like a gray mask because it was just like a constantly wet mask. Like you had to go for the black, the darks.
They made gray masks.
I didn't have that problem. I will say the worst part of masks is I'm a teacher, and for a while we were wearing masks in schools, of course, and that was a rule, and that was tough. For one thing, having to tell kids to put their mask back on when it's hanging below their lip or below their nose, and it became like teenagers are always defiant and rebellious. Like it became a thing to like wear your mask below your nose because fuck you, and then having to try to teach with a mask on and having to try to speak in front of people and be heard with a mask on. Oh, it was rough. Yeah. So the day we got to take the masks off finally was a good feeling.
How long?
The first day of spring.
How long was that for you? Was that like a full year?
A year and some change.
Cool.
Masks were required in schools.
I'm glad that they were, though. I mean, it stinks that people, it was unfortunate, but it's just like, I feel like it was necessary. And
yeah,
for sure. Yeah, it definitely prevented a lot of.
That was a really rough time obviously, would you say that experience? Okay. So you're overwhelmed. The cover of it is like, is an empty classroom. Is there COVID
It's
stuff?
a coffee shop.
It's a coffee shop?
It's
It
a
looks
CAD. It's a CAD image of a coffee shop. We hired somebody. We told them we wanted to make a coffee shop, so we paid and hired somebody to make us like a CAD design based off of whatever.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I
It is a
gave him
coffee
like
shop.
it was a deep concept. I don't know if people realized that there's a concept there, or that it's not just meant to look aesthetic.
All
I
right,
feel like
dive
it was
in.
the
Let's
wrong.
go.
I feel like it was the wrong choice of cover because it didn't quite.
Everything's the right
What it
choice.
was meant to be was not quite apparent, but that's
Okay,
okay.
well,
That
It
doesn't
was
matter.
the
here's
idea was
chance.
I don't know if you're in any major city or I guess anywhere really, you'll see those anytime there's a construction project for some new development, there's
Are you talking
often
about
they have like
the fake
a
image?
banner with a CAD design of what it will look like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You see
Yeah,
those
like the, the
around?
the fake pitch. This is like from the pitch deck of like what it's supposed to
Yeah.
be
Right.
from the architect.
Exactly. And they even have like people in there, and it looks kind of like eerie because if you look for a moment, it looks real, but obviously it's a CAD design. That's what we were going for, like
Well,
that
I
sort
get
of
that.
image.
That's like
Yeah.
so. I was thinking that it was this, this classroom, but I was going to say the reason I thought it was COVID based is because it's creepy. There's something
Yeah.
missing from this image, and that's
Uh-huh.
so like I'm glad that I think that what you did, the feeling is conveyed. Like there, I
Okay.
am. It is the
Yeah.
picture is has this slight unsettlingness, and
Mhm.
it's like I didn't want to like heck, I caught myself like not wanting to look at it for too long, which is why I thought it was like
Yeah.
why I thought it was a classroom because I was like I don't know, I don't want to look at this anymore. Like
Yeah, that's cool.
there's something a little unsettling about it. The empty tables,
Yeah.
they're a little bit too close together. It is very interesting, and so yes, I think you conveyed it just great.
Cool. That's
Yeah,
cool to hear.
yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
like we
Thanks.
found someone on Fiverr to make the image, and like this is what they normally do. Like they normally make like mock-ups for construction projects.
Hmm.
So I sent them like some made up dimensions and
Hmm.
like just like tried to think of like anything I could to make it realistic. And I
Yeah,
think they
it's
were pretty
great.
confused. I think they were pretty confused by the whole thing, but they were like, whatever, we'll take your money.
That's
Yeah,
so funny.
it's
But so that
true.
was that.
Well, hell yeah. So in between that and Education on Earth, would you say that like, I talked to a lot of bands that have like made music during the COVID era, and I feel like COVID, there's like the DNA of COVID is in like all records that came out like between 2022 and now. Would you say that like, because especially people were writing during COVID, so y'all were doing some writing during COVID. The What would you say are the things that in Education on Earth are kind of from that COVID era?
I don't know, just kind of like grounding yourself and kind of having to pivot and like adapt and figure out and like you're living in a fantasy and then like reality kind of hits. It was kind of like sort of along those lines. Tom and I might be speaking for him, but we like when people interpret our music for themselves more than like what we're saying, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. Um, but I think like yeah, like the way the pandemic and COVID came, like our writing, like I just feel like yeah, about just kind of like trying to figure out like who you are and what the fuck's going on and like you know what I mean. I don't know. How do you feel,
Yeah.
Tom?
I don't remember. I just throw words out until it sounds like something. Um,
Tom.
that's to be honest. Um,
That's
so
so funny.
like you kind of just put words out until it like you start to feel that something's being said, or that's what I did with that. The song "Education on Earth" comes from a poem with the title "My Education on Earth," and
Okay, cool. That makes sense. That's cool.
just bits and pieces from here and there. That's
We
how I
thought
did it. So it's hard to say how it's connected to uh COVID,
Mhm.
but I don't know. I like the title "Education on Earth" because it's interpretable partly. It's just, it lends itself to um, different meanings between education about the earth, um,
And like how we're
and
taught
or
as well.
education that happens on earth. Um,
Yeah.
and
and
yeah, I don't know.
like I was saying earlier too, like the grounding of oneself. Like you're up here, you're a freaking space alien, weirdo glob thing, green guy, and then you're like, oh, this is where I started. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And this is like what I should be returning to figure myself out, you know? At least that's how I interpret my parts of my contributions to the record, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, like I said, I feel like Tom agrees. Like, we like when people create their own meaning out of
Mhm.
it. You know, we're just like, all right, it's done, it's out. We've been talking about this for years. Let's move on. Like,
I don't. I want to tell them what to think about it. Just
I
like I'm
love
saying
that.
right now.
There's something I think that's actually there's a really really good documentary that I really want to watch it again because I keep thinking about this guy that's in it. It's a Nashville songwriter documentary. I think it came out on Amazon Prime, and it's all about just like what it's like being a songwriter for other people and like just interviewing a bunch of songwriters. And
you make money.
there was this guy where he was like, I don't really write like that anymore. I like all of my stuff that I write now is just, as abstract as possible because I'm sick of writing these love ballads and stuff. And that's kind of where everything is going. Where like he's like, I'm hoping that everything is going into the abstract. And I'm so into that because like I think that people should be writing as vague as possible or as weird as possible because I want more people to like pull more things from that kind of stuff. Like there is a record, the band the Receiving Ends of Sirens.
Oh yeah.
Great record. That first one specifically. That record is written in a way where you feel like that there's like a whole fucking story going on and they have
Hmm.
lines that are used in one song that they reuse in others that are you're supposed to like shoelace this whole thing together and then like there's some lore something is going on but there isn't. It's just because they wrote it in a way that made us do that and
Right.
I think
Mm.
that like sometimes you can do that on purpose and or sometimes you're like I am writing this on a song by song basis, and I've put them together in a way that I just hope people take something from it. What were the things you were
Hmm.
hoping people were taking away from Education on Earth?
You want to go first?
Um, I don't know. Like I think, there was a feeling that I got from it that I wanted people to um get um there was an aesthetic to it that I felt tied the whole thing together. By aesthetic, I mean uh just a theme of emotion, not so much a theme of ideas that
Mhm.
tied it together.
I would
I don't know.
say I agree with
That's
that.
a terrible answer, but
It is. Every answer is a good
yeah,
answer, baby.
and
I agree.
yeah,
Oh,
but
awesome.
it's sometimes you start with little. Oh, never mind. I lost my train of thought.
I love it.
Anyways, that's the last record we're writing without ChatGPT, so it changes
Oh
completely
man.
with the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna scrap that. We're
Do you
actually
ever
gonna
think
think by
about
ourselves.
Mhm.
you ever think about how many artists are doing that already and just not saying they're
Oh,
doing that?
oh, I can. I'm well as someone who literally works it. All right. One thing, Jess, we're gonna get your take on that record here in just a
Oh,
second.
I'm chilling.
We're gonna
You
get
talk about
you
whatever
in
you
just a
want.
second.
I'm entertained.
I work in AI like weirdly. I work in podcast AI tech. Is one of the main reasons why I wanted to
Oh,
start a podcast anyways, is because it helps. I use all of my product software. I only use the AI products to generate my show notes, but because writing show notes is a bitch and like that, like I don't want to fucking do that. So they literally listen to
yeah.
my podcast episode and will write my show notes for me, and I'm like, cool, great. That's the most unimportant part
That's
about a
like
podcast, anyways.
it's not Reverb, is it?
I
Do
work
you
for
use that?
Headliner.
Okay.
The
There's
Headliner.
one that it's not Reverb the music sales website. There's another Reverb website that
I think that I've
it
seen them at a conference before. I think that they do. There's again, just like every boom of technology, there's 100 copies of everything. And we are one of those
yeah.
copies that does transcription, automation, all this other stuff. And I love it. I love the product. But working in AI and seeing people use AI and having to defend AI in some ways, where I'm like, listen, AI is great as a tool. AI is not great
Mhm.
for replacing jobs. I don't like, in the Twitter discourse that we all
Yeah.
live in every day. The AI stuff is always really funny to see because like there is just ways to not like don't use AI to make art, use AI to help art. We're like, hey, I'm
Mhm.
you can use AI, like I use AI to clip my podcast and automatically post my clips for me on social media.
Yeah.
Like I recorded it, but I didn't want to have to fucking clip it and make the audiogram and stuff. The audiogram is made for me with the art that I made. It just pieces it all together. It's
Right.
like I built a little factory where it does all that stuff for me. Already gave the art that I made personally. I recorded and edited this. It just throws it all out there to every social media for me and picks the clip for me. Well, like there's all this
Yeah.
stuff that works in tandem good that helps artists, but when you making art using AI or doing the chat GPT thing, it's like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah. I
I don't
mean,
know.
but it's gonna be hard to find the line,
Yeah, and
right? Like,
who knows like um who's already making art lyrically. I mean, you can already tell who's making like, Hot Mulligan and whatever one just like put out some kind of AI art for a song, and like you can tell that already. Like it's like that's not going to be fixed anytime
yeah,
soon. Um
right.
but
You get a sense for when something is AI created. And I
like
wonder if that'll stick around or if AI will just get more attuned to us and then we get more attuned to AI and you kind of have this like convergence effect where media starts to look more and more the same because so much of it is AI created and then we're interacting with the AI created stuff.
yeah,
Um,
it's not great.
like it's really
It's not great at all.
anyways.
Now
I think about
Jess,
that. I use it all the time teaching. All right, back to
Jess,
the album.
education on Earth, the thing you wanted to make sure that you wanted people to convey.
I don't know. Earth is chill. Like
Yeah.
you're chill. You deserve good things, and you deserve to have a chance to collect yourself and be ugly and turn into something beautiful afterwards. It's okay. We all do it, and it's just I don't know. I want people to listen to our music and actually feel something from it. And I know that's kind of like a standard corny answer, but like for real, like you can do anything that we're doing, You know, like if that makes any sense.
I love that. It's simple because
That's what it's all about.
it really is
Baby.
front to back, if you want to distill why we're all doing this anyways, it's just for that. Everyone just wants, I think the first thing in the process of making art is, or making music is, I think it starts off as like a selfish thing where it's like, I want to make this. And then it turns into like, I want to, I want, I'm making this for me and them. I will always say that like making music will always start as like a selfish act. But then I want everyone to take something from it, where that is where the selflessness of music comes from.
Right. Like, I mean, I guess, yeah, like for me, music is selfish in the sense of I use it as a way to get that, like, those ugly feelings out of my body, in a healthier, safer way than other things that I have chosen to do in the past or could choose to do now instead. So, like, for me, it's yes, I make music to exist in a community and to grow with people and to just have a good time. But at the end of the day, I started writing music because I had no other way that was healthy to express these things I needed to get out. So when I do it, it's like a therapy session for me
Mhm.
personally. And that's kind of like why it's selfish, but
Mhm.
you know, and like being a rock star is cool and stuff, but like I don't know, I guess the only reason I want to get more well known is just so I can make more music, not really for people to like put us on a pedestal as people. Not that we're bad people, we're
Yeah.
great. Come on, but like yeah,
That's
but you
what
know
I
what I
want.
mean? It's a golden statue in Somerville, Massachusetts of Tom Stevens. Oh, I love that. I'd pay
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
what I want, but I'm too scared to admit.
Yep.
I
Yeah,
I
we
Or like appear like I'm trying to get
right,
that.
I think
right.
that there's something really I think that like so when I started making music, I I remember I didn't make my first record until I was 32. 33. And
People in this ageist bullshit with like
yeah.
I'm like, dude, 32 is so young. Like, you have no idea how we feel. Like, I like, you know, like I'm not. I just turned 30, and I'm like, I feel great. Like, I don't
Yeah,
know. Like, I don't even think about it.
I talk to all these young cats and and I have to go like balance my emotions of like being jealous of them and also feeling very lucky that I didn't do that. Because like I think that my journey into music is again my journey into music, and I can compare and contrast all that stuff, but all I know is that no one's like when I started making music, I think that when you're in your 30s starting, or you need to ask yourself more questions about why you're doing it versus when you start doing it and you're like 21. Like I had to ask like, hey, I'm about to, possibly do this is a very financially this is a bad decision financially to start making music. Like do I need to make sure that I'm like doing this for a couple of reasons. One, do you have the funds to take care of this and not like ruin the relationship that you have with your partner? Like and
Right.
are is because that partner is
Yeah.
also paying for this as well. So like
Yeah.
if I was 21 and I was like single and also like out of school and I had nothing to do, fuck yeah, hit the road and like just with a guitar, who cares? But like I have jobs and three cats and two dogs. I have like things to take care of. I've got to answer some questions about.
Right.
We're like also, I feel like we're pretty lucky. Like we're not the biggest band like on paper if you're looking
Mhm.
at like streaming like anymore. But I feel like we're so lucky as a band because we
We have the
started
biggest hearts.
well, and we Jesus Christ.
I love
We
it. This is so
I just feel
funny.
like we started at a really good time, like to be a band, like not age wise, just like the timeline, just everything was a little more accessible financially. Not that it was easy.
Sure.
I just feel like everyone was chronically online in a different way. We didn't feel the need to have to be marketing ourselves on let's say like TikTok, no shame, I do it now. I get why people do it. It's understandable, but it's like, you know, there was just less of that. And more of like, I felt like organic face-to-face grow. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but I just feel like now it just feels like everyone's like hyper online, and like us included, obviously, because you have to be, but like it's just like
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
I think
Yeah, like I think it's really interesting because I can't imagine what it was like to promote in your music like before 2020. Like I'll never forget when I was
Facebook was so big still, like in 2018. It was crazy.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like
that was what it
Facebook
was.
events.
Yeah, I think that
it was
and, like,
much.
you're the second person that's brought up the Facebook events that I've talked to, because like that's that's all it used to be. Like in a pre-Instagram era, like, and Instagram was even around during the beginning of this stuff, but it wasn't used for that kind of promotion. It was like,
No, you still posted pictures of what you were doing, but you weren't like, you know,
yeah, and like
making reels and not.
Oh, it's just
When
so
I used
weird.
to book tours, it was all about the Facebook event pages. That was the main way that we got people out. Like, you know, you find locals and the locals pump up the event pages. And I don't think it's like too significantly different from how it is now when Facebook isn't popular or isn't really the medium to use, but there was definitely a degree of difference there. And
Right. And the algorithm was different too.
That was
like
the last time I booked a tour.
Yeah.
Now we have Pat.
Too, so I don't know what I would do if I had to do it now. Yeah.
It's crazy, you know, like it's so insane out there because like and even like I was saying earlier to you, when I'm scrolling on like the band feed and stuff, it's like, without sounding rude, like I don't want to see all this garbage. Like I was following these people and these bands and these things for a reason to see those things, and then half the time I miss everything or I'm overloaded with information. And I just like can't keep up with it anymore. Like, not that this like amount of information didn't exist before, but now it's just blasted, and like everything's 10 to 30 seconds long. Like, you know, it's just, I feel like no one holds onto things tightly anymore, whatever that means. Like, that's like, and going back to education on Earth, it's kind of like people really need to like educate themselves on Earth. That's not touching grass. It's like literally like reading a book, learning about yourself, you know, you know what I'm saying? Though, like,
we brought it all the way back. We brought it all the way fucking back. Let's go.
Full circle.
Yeah, that I think that you're absolutely right. I think people do need to be fucking educated on Earth, and they could start with this record. Like, let's go. Like, I think that when it comes to like those kind of things, man, like, it's the touring and the booking and stuff. Y'all are in a post LP3 era. What is your band life like in that kind of thing? Is it are you mainly focused on touring and festivals? Are you like how do you rehearse? Let's kind of go through that, what that kind of works for the band.
Right now, where we're at,
well,
like
it's difficult.
You're good. You can. I'll let you say something. But I was just gonna say, now that we're a little older, like you were saying, you have to consider like all like finances. You know, so touring, where we're going, we won't talk too much about this now because the information isn't out there. But we have something planned for the summer and potentially the fall. But like the thing is, like, Tom has a full-time job at a school, you know, so we have to be really picky and specific about what time we use for things like that, because if we go do something and it's quote unquote, I don't want to say a waste of our time, because music is not a waste. I wish I could play everywhere and not worry about that stuff, you know, but we really have to pick and choose what is like worth the traveling for us, you know? So I feel like going forward, we're going to play as many shows in as many places as we possibly can that makes sense with our schedules, but we probably won't focus on like going on like tours like we used to because we just can't afford it right now. It's
Sure.
just unaffordable for a band at our level and even bands bigger than us, you know. But hopefully we have two songs that are we're sitting on them right now because we've just been discussing Almar and anyways, but they're just two singles. But Tom and I were focusing our attention on like writing music and fostering our community at home, you know, more. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going on a little sun this summer, and we'll see what happens from there. But yeah,
No, here's the question. When it comes to a band that it's so spread out now, like in the beginning of band stuff, it's a lot of like we're hanging out all the time, we rehearse, we're playing lots of local stuff. So is the focus now like it doesn't even I don't even know we need to know when, but is it like do you not want to do local shows and you only want to do festivals and touring now? And when do you guys get a chance to rehearse? What is like kind of the ways that like the organization of the band exists in a post LP3 world?
yeah. So I mean, we get together. We try to because our drummer lives so far. We get together usually like once a month,
Hmm.
um, and usually practice on our own. But when we do get together, we're lucky that Tom's place has a nice spot for us to practice for free, so we have that. But Tom and I, we're the primary songwriters of the band,
Hmm.
so usually him and I will come up with our own ideas and then bring them together and collaborate that way. And then you asked about like festivals and like
Hmm.
playing at home. We are focused on growing Old Soul a little closer to home, just
Hmm.
because, like we're saying, touring is really expensive and it's hard
Hmm.
for us to gauge like where and when and how many people will, you know, come out to see us. So if we get good opportunities slash have the time, we'll definitely go out on the road a little farther. But I think for right now, we're focusing a little closer to home.
I
You know
love
what I mean? Did
that.
that answer the Did that answer
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
question?
yeah. It's
It's just hard if
yeah,
you're listening to
no.
this. If you're listening to this, like be smart. Like go out there like as much as you can. Like that's how you do it. But like also just be smart about it. The world is expensive right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because
I
like
also, I don't. Okay.
oh no,
Oh, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Tom.
Tom, go.
Oh, sorry. I was glitching out. I wasn't sure who was if I wasn't sure what was being said for a second. Um, I lost my train of thought again.
You are
Um,
a-okay. You are a-okay.
yeah, I also, I don't know. I have a hard time with touring as well because
Mhm.
I get the sense of things being wasted, and that's like uh in terms of expenses and environmental tolls.
Yeah.
I just get this strong feeling that it's irresponsible to, you know, live as if
Oh, you're
the
you're
world
not
is
wrong.
our oyster, and that's more a feeling. It may be true, but it's more of a feeling that I'm influenced by.
I think that
Because what is the real impact that we actually have? Um, it's minimal, but I struggle to get away from that feeling, and it's just also just hard being on the road when you're older and stressed out by your job.
I completely agree with that. It's I think that the
And
like when it comes to I interviewed this band Camden, who is they're good friends. I love them. They're another Nashville, like they've been around for like 12 years, 13 years, probably longer. But this is something about like Nashville, and I think this applies kind of just to bands everywhere. That I think that there is some kind of weird rule that has been applied. Maybe it's a post-COVID thing. Maybe this has just been around the whole time. I don't know because I've only been doing this for like 4 years. But he said that everyone should be playing less anyways. Like, hey, we should play less. And I think that I kind of get it.
Depend. It really depends. Like I think it's really hard to give advice on what's right and wrong.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone
I've
has.
heard I've heard, both philosophies I think are correct in their own way. Like both the one that says you should play as much as possible just to get in front of people, and the one that says you should be reserved about um, where and when you play and how frequently, so that the shows that you do play are most meaningful.
Hmm.
I think it depends on the artist situation
I do
and
want
what
to.
kind of resources and opportunities are available as well.
I do want to add
Um,
to this. Uh, we started working with Pat from Save the Cat
Save the
Touring.
cat. Save the
Yeah,
cat is
we
like
love. I love Pat. But I'm very, very excited that we've been working with them because so far it's been epic, and I really trust them with this summer thing that
Mhm.
I shouldn't be talking about yet that we're going on, because they listen to our needs, and they're really focusing on like what we asked and what we're looking for out of this
Great.
tour. And I'm excited. Like, and I don't mean to sound so robotic. Like, I hate doing that because, like I said, like if I could just, and I'm sure Tom feels the same minus traveling, but it's like if I could just like up and leave and play every show that's asked of me, every band, every friend who comes around like that asks to play a show, like I would do it in a heartbeat. I love playing music. Like I don't care. Like I would do that. But it gets to a point where you have to like think about the business aspect of things if you
Mhm.
want to do stuff like this. Like we want to record records, and those are expensive. And yes, we could do it cheaper, but why would Tom and I compromise what we want out of our art? You know what I mean? So we do these things because that's what we want out of it.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't mean that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally.
so it's rough. Like I hate giving advice on things sometimes. Like
I
I don't
think
know if
I
I'm
think
right.
it's fair because it's like I think that also there is kind of a paying your dues thing sometimes as well, where it's like I think that there are multiple stages of bandness, and I think that like once you're a band and you're ready to play shows, like I think maybe it is again, no rules. But I think that there's the sine wave of how normally people go, or like if it was on a graph and you asked every band how per year how everything goes. It's like the first year as a band where you start playing shows, you're playing as much as you fucking can. And then like
Yeah,
year two is usually like you have a release and this is you kind of doing the same thing, but maybe playing out a little bit more. And then there's just suddenly a shift of focus where it's like, hey, we're going to play less and we're like the amount of local shows from year one to year X is less every year.
right.
And then the reverse happens where out of state shows goes from one to X goes higher. There's I think something that I think has been important to me is I as much as I would love to help like everyone locally here in Nashville, playing in Nashville kind of fucking sucks. I'm just
Everyone, yeah, it's a big hub for music.
it's
Everyone plays music. It's both beautiful and disheartening. You
yeah
know, it's
because
like the most
I've
beautiful
never
thing in
played
the
in
world.
Nashville.
dude, it's the thing that is I think that no one talks about here in Nashville, which is why I say play less, is because it's specifically locally in Nashville. That is my advice here in Nashville as a Nashville band, because every night there is something going on. 5 to 20 things happening per night in Nashville.
Which is sick.
which is sick, but it's diluted. And so like the chances of people going to your show is so less. Like when we played in Oklahoma with like Red Sun and fucking others like us, all townies. It was this coolest little festival. It was so packed because I feel like the amount of things to do, you know, their GDP, their per capita of shows per night is way less than it is in Nashville. And so like
everyone's so spread out, you know.
And so it's like
I've heard a lot of smaller. I've heard a lot of smaller to mid-range bands say the B markets are often the better shows than the A markets, you know.
1,000,000%. Like, and that's not talked about. That's not talked about enough. If you are a big band, if you are a small band, go tour to outside of the big cities. Like, because the people that are in the cities, I think, will go travel to those smaller towns, and everyone from that town will be there. Like, it's so important to do that kind of stuff.
We played some crazy shows. Like, we played cool places where you would never expect. They've never heard of us, and yet they're like, oh, there's something to do tonight in this Missouri.
Yeah, you play like Albany or something, and you're likely to get, you know, people just coming out to check out a show. But you play New York City, you might be, you know, that's a tough situation if you're an unheard of band or a small band. If you play in Philadelphia, forget about it.
Like we just announced a little run that we're doing with Ultra Deluxe. Love them. We're doing Jersey.
Yeah, they're epic.
They're awesome. I love them.
We played with them. Last year, the year before. The show was not crowded, but they brought all the energy that they had, and it was so sick. I was like, yeah, you go, and like I just respect their platform and what they're doing.
Oh my God!
Continue.
Like I'm like, first things first.
They're a teacher.
Like they are so talented, and this new project I got coming out is like gonna be so sick. They invited us on this little thing that goes to Coachella, and it's Jersey, Pittsburgh, Bowling Green, and that's all it is. And
that's all you need, though.
And I think exactly, like I'm do
what you can.
Exactly. And like but like when I think about the places that I'm playing, I'm like, I'm excited to be playing New Jersey because I think that it's not New York, and I feel like it'd be a little bit nicer. Also
depends on where.
Yeah, I'm that's what I'm excited to learn. Like I'm excited to be up into the New England area to, like, first of all, it's gonna be awesome. Tour is just vacation for me anyways. I'm excited to learn about these places, what it's like to play in these places. I'm excited that I'm not playing in Philadelphia, that I'm playing in Pittsburgh. I feel like Philadelphia is the same thing when it comes to Nashville, where it's like, as much as I would love to play in Philly sometime, I just feel like that it's the same thing would happen, where it's just there's so much stuff happening all the time in Philly.
I'm so happy that we have someone like Pat working with us, because, like, you know, navigating a huge world with somebody who's very well connected is very nice, you know, to have someone on your team like that.
Yeah. First things first, Save the Cat, I feel like is the through line of all of like DIY right now. Like if anyone's booking well, they're booking because of Save the Cat. Like
I feel like Oldsoul's like that weird, like we're not DIY because we have a record label. But like,
no. There are people that are there's DIY is ascended beyond that. Like everyone
I'm scared.
It's
I'm so scared.
Y'all are DIY. Anyway, the reason that I think that maybe the term has ascended itself in a way where, like, it's DIY is very important. I think it's just how we all feel about stuff. Where it's like, yeah, we're writing together. We're not in like the big record label atmosphere. We're on, you know. What are you
talking about? CRX is the biggest record label in the freaking world.
CRX is you know, we're talking suits, we're talking high rises. Like,
you have no idea how much money they gave us to make that record. You have
and
no
like,
idea.
like it's just dollar signs, bags of money with just dollar signs on it.
Right? Jake dollar signs.
There's something really, really. I think that this ecosystem is still DIY because the people that are doing the record labels are also doing it themselves as well. There's not like
I like DIY until I'm on the internet, but then when I'm off the internet, I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I love. I think that there's a lot of cringeness, 100% of like this DIY thing recently, but it's still everyone believes in it still. It's just sometimes the echo
chamber.
chambers.
I'm allowed to talk to anymore. Like I'm like, how old are you?
Yeah,
what time is it?
Yeah, the parasocialness of the DIY community, specifically on fucking Twitter, is weird. I've talked about this before. Like these are people that I know. I have to like I have like a level of I don't want to say integrity, but I want to say like
say it.
I don't think it's not integrity though. Just fucking say it. No, are these people your friends? That is the thing that I think a lot of people have to think about. Where like there are people that have like been people that I know online and that I've talked to online that have like moved out of that realm of like a parasocial online relationship into, yes, I am friends with them. But just because you know someone online doesn't mean that they're your friend. And that is a very, very important thing that I think there's a lot of people that don't like believe in that, or like they don't know how to like, you know, not be weird online. There's just
silly with boundaries.
That's exactly what it like. And that's, I don't know. I think that's important.
I am just an entity. I am a robot. My name is Oldsoul. I am here to say things to you and to interact, and then I will leave and go eat dinner.
Yes, I think that's 1,000,000% kind of how it is. Like I love being online. I work at home. I don't have like a social relationship with people like during the main part of my day. I think that's one reason why I started a podcast, so I could like see other people. Then I started a band so I could talk to other people. Like, so I have my reasons and I have my like my relationships that I've built, but this kind of online thing is it's weird and it's strange, and it's the thing that we have to do to promote your band. But it will never not be weird and strange, ever.
I like weird people though, not too weird though.
No, I like it enough. Where like I like and just to make it clear, everyone that talks to probably us, we like you. we think that you're great. Like we love this whole, I love my relationship that I have with everyone online. It's just, there's sometimes where it's like, man, this is just a really weird way to communicate with people.
Tom's lucky because like I just took the reins with, I'm like, I'll just do the social media stuff. You know, I'm a little less busy. Not that I'm not busy, but like I have more time to do.
You have this, yes. You have like
the and the capacity and the willpower. Like I have the willpower. Like I get why people don't want to do it. It's exhausting. Like trust me. But I'm a very social person, so
I just have the personality where when I look online, it's never from the vantage point of someone who's looking to add to a conversation. I'm always just looking. I guess a lurker is what you call it.
Yeah, 100%. That is the
same thing with Reddit. I use Reddit all the time, but do I ever post on Reddit or comment? Almost never, because it just doesn't occur to me.
I feel like lurker kind of has a bad connotation with it. I feel like it's just like
it sounds so creepy.
Yeah. It sounds so creepy.
Right.
I've never liked that word.
It sounds like
ever. I've never liked that word. Oh, what's that guy?
I just picture the count. I don't know why.
Yeah,
right.
The count.
I don't like it. I've never liked it. I feel like it's like watching TV. That's how I feel.
Wait, hold on. Do you think the count is hot? Yeah. Yes or no?
Yes. What? I'm just gonna say yes. Just like from like you're talking. Hold on. First things first. Which count are we talking about?
I'm talking about the count. Who counts?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Homie's hot. Done.
Awesome. Okay. Continue.
Okay. Cool. That's that. Like homie. Like first of all, I feel like he would be a great partner. This guy, that is someone that I'm looking, that would be like, okay,
He
this
would
is,
handle our taxes so
Didn't,
well.
no one like this.
Didn't he do something? He did something culturally relevant recently. Can't think of
The
what it
Count?
was though. Yeah, he did something relevant.
Hold
And it was
on.
all over, it was all over the internet. And it was some
Mad
video
relevant.
saying something crazy. I don't
Is
know.
it the Count? Okay, after we chat, go look at the Count censored. Watch that video on YouTube. It's
Oh,
my
you know
favorite
what?
video.
That was it. It wasn't too relevant. It was just like a funny edit.
It's
Okay,
hilarious.
cool.
It just sounds like
That
he's
is
saying he's
funny.
gonna fuck spiders on the wall. It's so funny.
They just
So
bleep
good.
out. They just bleep out like when he says count. Like so, it sounds like he's, you know,
Saying something
can imagine.
dirty.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god.
That's the type of video I want to put on in school, but I can't.
I literally,
I became a teacher because I wanted to show people YouTube videos, but I can't really do that.
Oh my fucking god.
Anyways,
the Count is so sexy. Oh my god.
That's gonna be the name of this episode. Just specifically, the Count is very like episode 60. It's probably gonna be episode like 69 anyway.
Someone's gonna scroll through this and be
Nice.
like, okay, Oldsoul hates masks. Oldsoul loves AI. Oldsoul, yeah,
who
they're gonna be
doesn't
like,
hate masks?
stop. It's
Well,
funny,
I
but it's not funny. No.
Toma!
It's so safe. It's so good to be smart and care about other people for real.
No,
for
okay.
real.
To clear myself, I went on a plane recently. I wore a mask on the plane.
That's
I was-
my
You're the
god!
bravest.
My partner and I were the only ones wearing a mask on the plane. So
Yeah, hey,
Just-
listen, you just
no.
don't want to. You don't want to get sick. You want to get other people sick. That's simple.
See, but
right.
the mask, I would take the mask off for the Count. I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah, yeah,
For the
I mean,
Count. I
yeah,
got to stop thinking about him.
yeah. It's okay. All right, let's focus. Let's focus, everyone. Let's recenter.
One,
Old Soul Nation, recenter.
two.
Oh no! Okay, so y'all, this you got a bunch of cool stuff coming out. I always want to ask everybody this question. So, Tom, we're gonna dive a little bit further into this. I like asking people what they do for a job. You said you're a teacher. What do you teach?
I teach English learners. So I teach high school kids who are in their first or second year in the country. I teach them their ELA and history classes.
That's
in a public
awesome.
high school.
I have a friend of mine, old friend of mine, who actually passed away recently, but he was an ESL teacher for years. And that was what a incredible position and like such a necessary, unthought of position. So like serious kudos to you for like doing that.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult, stressful job. And that is like, everyone should pay teachers more, but like you guys are the fucking best.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for saying.
Oh, it's so rough
We're the
out there
best.
right now. Oh,
It feels
God.
it feels nice.
Like, yeah,
But,
seriously. You're the secret hero.
Yeah, I like it. It's hard at times, but all teaching is hard.
Mhm.
And yeah,
Hell yeah.
hopefully it stays relevant for the future to come.
Yeah. Well, Jess, what do you do for your day job?
I'm a barista. That's it.
Hell yeah. I mean, fuck that. It's how simple could it be? It sounds nice.
That's why I do it. I don't think about anything. I just make, drink, leave. That's it.
I think that there is like, first things first, do you still like to drink coffee?
I have so much energy as a person.
Oh, yeah.
I actually
She likes to drink coffee.
I like drinking coffee on the weekends and when I'm on tour or when I have to drive around. But when I'm like waking up in the morning or if I'm at home, like I don't know, like I don't need it. Like I just enjoy it. Like I just like the taste, but I don't need caffeine. Like I'm on one. all
I've
the
never
time.
seen you refuse a coffee though.
I've never refused a coffee. I didn't say I did.
So here's the thing, because of being a barista, is there like, do you have an interesting relationship with coffee because like you're constantly dealing with it all day, or where you're
No,
like,
I literally don't care about anything. Like I literally don't care. Like I just don't. I just
have
don't.
you watched Severance? Like, dude, do you literally?
Yo, can we talk about it? Oh, no, we can't talk about it. If anyone's like, I want to talk about
Okay,
it.
all right, hold on. So you literally have like an innie and an outie though. Like you literally delete your barista life as
Yeah,
soon
no,
as
I
you.
just delete my life. Yeah, I do. And like honestly, like it's
Mm,
great. I'm like a bug. Like I'm like a bug
I
that
gotta watch that.
constantly hits the light and gets zapped and then keeps going back to it for some reason.
I love it.
That's
That's
me.
fucking awesome. And like, I mean, it's also hey, listen, this is the it shows perseverance. It shows willpower. It shows a lot of all
Because
this
I'm a
stuff.
fucking bug.
Because it shows you you're a fucking bug. You can just you can deal with
Light
a
does
lot
not
of.
bother me.
There's just so all right. That's great. I love it. I think that is like my guitarist Mikey is a barista. He's an incredible barista, and he still drinks coffee and he does all that stuff. I always like asking baristas that because I always find that there are people that are like, oh yeah, I don't want to fucking look at another coffee uh, because I just looked at 600 of them this morning. So like I
Mm.
totally get that.
Like I said, bzz,
Yeah,
bzz, bzz. That's me, just into the
that's so
light.
funny.
But I always come back. I am like a cat. I'm like a golden retriever. I'm like a bug. You
Um,
know?
so on this new stuff that you guys are working on, what are things that you are trying to uh what are themes that you're trying to put on this new music that are different from Education on Earth, or things, or is there anything that it's like the stuff that you didn't say on Education on Earth that you're trying to say now?
So we're only putting out two singles, and
Mhm.
they don't really they're not like they don't coincide with each other really
Cool.
at all. But they do. Like it's funny, Tom and I they're one song was one of our ideas, the other one was the other person's like initial idea. And
Cool.
like every time we write music together, even if the songs weren't originally like meant to coexist, they end up coexisting anyways. Because I don't know how Tom feels about it, but we just collaborate really well. I feel
Mhm.
that's why we've been working together for so long. But they're I don't know. They're like this same kind of like thought provoking, like emotional garbage that we write. Just kidding, it's beautiful garbage. But like it is, and one of them is more on the experimental side of things, like textural side, and the other
Sure.
one is kind of more straightforward, like rock song.
Great.
So I'm kind of excited to see like how people are going to like take these singles because they're very old soul still, but we kind of just like we like to play around.
Yeah.
I know Tom was talking about how like he wants to we're working on stuff for another release that we won't even talk about because it's not even formulated, but
Mhm.
we want to just kind of like experiment a little more, you know, just write some rock bangers, but also like stay true to like what like we just want to be creative, you know, and write
Yeah,
for
make weird
ourselves
shit.
and yeah, exactly. So I don't know if we really have like a certain direction we're going in. Tom and I never really like do. We just kind of write and then it comes together.
Great. I mean, listen, it sounds like that first things first, if that's how the records go, that's how the records go. And like that's it, I like that. I think that if you if you're when you're building like, you know, these songs and then you arrange them in a very specific order, that's maybe that where they get connected. Sometimes people like we talked about, some people just write and let people find, you know, the connections between them. So it sounds like both of you are in a really, really cool headspace together on a songwriting process that it sounds kind of like it's easy for y'all to keep making music together that is and where you guys get to push each other and stretch in certain ways.
Oh yeah, Tom. I mean, Tom's made me exponentially better at music just knowing him. So
Aw.
It's not easy. I've
it's not, but it's not
struggling
easy.
for um a long time trying to just get back to writing regularly.
It's hard to put
it's a
yourself
muscle.
aside.
I have a really hard time with it.
It's a muscle. It's
At
a
least right
flexing
now.
thing.
Right now I do. Yeah, no, that's exactly right. It is a muscle.
I think it's good to force it so you can like see what comes out of it, but not force it too much where like you get sick of it or get upset with yourself, you know?
Yeah, for me, you just have to. The hardest part is starting always.
Maybe it's time to start. Am I right?
Hey,
there you go.
Hey,
That's the title of the next record.
time to start.
maybe it's time to start.
I like that.
No, I
'cause
thought it was
that's the last. That's the
Tom,
last line of the previous record. So be the perfect title for the next record.
Tom,
What?
you're a genius.
I told you this idea like a year ago.
I know, and you're still a genius a year later.
Thank you.
I thought we were changing our band name to It's Go Time or something.
It's.
I hope you guys didn't see me lick my spaghetti sauce spoon earlier.
It's
I
okay.
forgot that was on camera.
It is okay. I
Did
didn't
you see that?
Nobody on the podcast would have known.
So you did
until
see
said
that.
it.
No, I didn't see shit because it like the
Well,
Zoom.
I don't care if they know. I just don't want someone to see me doing it.
I never post the video anyways, and I didn't see it because it was on a tiny little thing over there, and I wasn't paying it. I pay attention to whatever like showing up front, and you weren't showing up front unless you're talking. So you're all
I've been
good.
smiling
we're
this
safe.
whole time.
We're
I've been
all
like
good.
full dimple mode this whole time. Like
Okay, I want to play a song of y'all's. I want you to pick it. We want to have to like you just pick it. I'll edit it in. Let's like, what song would you like to hear on the podcast?
What songs are available?
Any of yours.
I need like a list to choose from.
Tom, I'm not gonna lie, you have been like one of the most fascinating people I've ever had on the pod. There's a moment where I'm like, I feel like I'm talking through I'm like it's just your demeanor is flawless.
I love Tom.
I don't know
It's
how
so wild, dude.
He's the best. No, he's honestly the
I don't
best.
know how I should take that, so I'll just say thank you.
You are one of the most interesting people I've let talk on the pod. It's so good.
The most interesting man on earth is right here on the pod.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you want a multiple choice?
No, do Lavender Cane.
Oh,
Do Lavender
I don't
Cane.
want to talk about that song. We can do it. I'm just not going to say anything about it.
Okay, fine. You don't have.
Oh my god, this is so funny.
Oh my god, I feel like it's like it's the best part about your dynamic is there's this fake antagonism from Tom that is just like so
Fake.
palpable. It's so good.
You say it's fake. No acting, baby.
It's just I love this villain that you play. It's so good. Like I'm fully obsessed, and like I feel like I want to like combat it, and like you get me in kind of a flight or fight mode where I don't know what to do with it, and it's so good.
You're saying maybe we should start a podcast. I want to keep people on their toes.
It's so good. Oh, it's been tripping me up like the whole podcast. And I just want to just give you props. I normally am like pretty like on top of my shit, and it has been I've had such a pleasure being like knocked off my whole thing. It's been so wild. Okay, back on fucking track. What song are we gonna play? Lavender Cane?
Do it. It rocks.
Okay, cool. Here's
Don't make Tom talk about it, though.
All right, Tom, shut up, Tom.
That's the
Shut
deal.
up, Tom.
You just gotta let me plug my comedy tour.
Okay, hold on.
At the
You can
end,
do that.
okay?
You can do that here in a second. Here's Lavender Cane by Oldsoul.
I
Lavender Cane from Oldsoul. Tom, you had some kind of tour that you wanted to talk about comedy-wise. We'll let you talk about that the next time we do this podcast. Y'all are just like, what a blast. Thank you for like just what a fucking, this was a perfect episode. This was a perfect episode. I feel like I have new friends now.
Thank you for having us. We're so excited. I was so excited when you wanted to talk to us. I love talking.
Yeah, this is perfect. Tom, I just want to hang out. Jess, I just want to hang out.
Are we going to Nashville, Jess? I don't think we are we?
No, we're not, but we'll meet up.
All right, cool. We'll figure it out.
It'll happen.
We'll be in Jersey on the 12th. So that's the closest we're coming up in that way.
That's not close at all.
No, I know it's not close. But it'll be the closest. Okay, but listen, I love you guys and have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to y'all soon.
Love you too. Thank you for having us. You rock.
Okay, bye.
Yeah,
Love
thank
you guys.
you.
Bye.
That was awesome.
Bye.